Greg and Ange, they talk about anime, they scream and shout on shows you've never seen or heard. They're all awesome, please take their word. This cast ain't all it seems to be, between just you and me. I guess it's all an anime daydream.
We're starting. Hey, mother TV land, Chibipocalypse, talking English and everybody knows say. Hello, it's Chibipocalypse. No,
Hi.
no, wait, it's not. Wait, fuck it. Hang on. Hey, everybody, it's Anime Daydream. Come back with Daydreams, a dream every day in the anime.
And we're done.
It's Anime Daydream.
Officially.
No,
I'm out.
we're only just for real now. We've only just manifested.
Done.
Yeah, we are Anime Daydream. We are the ones got bored with your conventional anime. We dug deeper. We found the rare treasures and the rare pieces of shit, and we are gonna report on them. Yep. Let's see. This week was one we managed to dig up. I think it was on Fuzzy Torrents. Thereabout.
Probably that was before my time, so.
It's not big, but it's got that's why I want it. It's the little hits.
Personally, I never heard of it before, so and I only watched a random clip on YouTube.
Now, the website or the anime you're talking about now? You watch the torrent site on YouTube?
No, I just watched an episode somebody ripped from the torrents on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Let's go with the title.
So what is it, Glenn?
It's Chibipocalypse. It's one of those cute girls doing cute things animes in the Mad Max apocalypse, basically.
So what, these little girls have to survive?
Kind of. Yeah, there's if something happened, they don't seem to know what or address it in any way. This is just their life now, but they live like the psychos in Borderlands. They're all like punked up and they're living off, like siphoning gas and water, but they're kind of okay with it. They're like clearly a little like cracked and they're like just like wee about it.
So this is kind of like that school on the recent anime where the girls had to survive a zombie apocalypse, but it was all cheerful.
Maybe. I didn't watch it, but remind me of that one that you watched that was like little girls in the Korean War or something like that, and they're just like, "We're in the army, wee!" and like,
No, well, they weren't in the Korean army. But
yeah, I don't know.
Girls on Panzer.
No, it wasn't even that. Girls in Panzer. I thought that was they're at a school for tanks.
Yeah.
No, it was like child soldiers who were like, we gotta watch this watchtower, so let's tell ghost stories and nickname our guns cute names and things like that.
I mean, they're strike witches from other countries. But...
Yeah, I don't know. Never mind. I didn't watch it at all. But yeah, this one I watched. Let's see. It is a foursome of raiders. It's like the K-On! Apocalypse. It's just like horrible people doing horrible things in a kawaii way.
No, but Chibi, are they always super deformed, or
they're not super deformed. They pop into it once in a while, but mostly just like casually drawn, kind of. Like it's not like super high def, intense detail style at all.
Yeah, I don't even know the studio that did this one. It's that old.
Yeah, I can't remember. Look it up in the name because we're professionals. We watch one episode on YouTube and make decisions about it. And
I didn't have time.
Yeah, well,
I'm watching quality shows.
Yeah, that's because the world doesn't know that we are doing this one a year apart from the last one. But anyway, so yeah, like it's for I think they're implied to be teenage girls. I'm stopping.
That's how it's implied in every single series, just to cover their ass.
Well, yeah, they look like it. I'm sure it's like I'm 48 or something. But
they're probably high school.
I don't even know. But yeah, they have like a big brute one, and their mechanic they just call Wreck, and the one who's always in a gas mask, the flamethrower, who can't talk because she's always in a gas mask, the flamethrower.
Kind of like Team Fortress.
Yeah, she doesn't try to talk. She just is like thumbs up or point that away, and like.
But what are they trying to do though? Because I only saw them like in a random fight in the first episode.
Yeah, like
they didn't really go to the plot.
They're just surviving basically, but they seem to be either like mentally cracked or just good at it enough that they have fun doing it.
I wonder if this came out the same time that the original Mad Max came out.
It was probably in the wake of Road Warrior or something like that.
Because it definitely had like the big eyeballs of the 80s.
The semi-related story. Friends were all pushing Mad Max on me around when the new movie came out, and I was like, "Yeah, I keep hearing this movie's good." And I watched Mad Max. I'm like, "Guys, this is kind of boring, regular 80s shit." And they're like, "No, you watched actual Mad Max. No, fuck that. Go to the Road Warrior. It's not called Mad Max, but it's Mad Max, and it was far better."
Yeah, I gotta invest in that, but
No, you don't. Not in regular Mad Max. You can easily jump that because they summarize the whole movie in the first 30 seconds.
But did they do bounty hunting? Or?
There don't seem to be a ton of people they encounter, probably because it's implied they just like, I found this gun on this corpse, but again, we don't know what happened, but they don't seem to know what happened or don't seem to care anymore. But like there was like a 2 or 3 episode arc that was the biggest they really got, where like they found the tank and they were like, "There's still gas in it." Whee! And they rode around like blowing up random abandoned buildings and like running over cars, and they ran out of gas, and they got a bomb. And so the leader on Napoleona.
Oh, were all the leader names puns on actual leaders?
No. She was the actual leader, one of the 4, and like she was the shortest, but she was the loudest and like made decisions. They were like, yeah, whatever. And
I guess I gave the show too much credit.
It wasn't a big world. It was. I mean, it was a big world because that was very large and empty, but it was neat. But yeah. So they go on like a big old trip to get more gas for the tank, and they like. Because they found like a prison, and they were like, it's still barred up. I bet there's still good stuff in there. And then the tank ran out of gas, and they were like, sweat drop stuff, and so they went to get gas, and they like went on the like various locales. They found like an old village, and they like got to get across a canyon and crap like that. They just had like a road trip in the desert apocalypse, and that with minus a car. And
the only thing I really remember that was profound from the first episode was the fact that they, I guess, spoiler alert, killed off that red-haired girl.
Was the first episode you saw, or the?
Yeah, I only saw the first one.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, I think she was there to establish that it was like, fuck it.
So she was just an object to show, hey, we're in the apocalypse.
Yeah, she was Morph from X-Men the cartoon. She was there at Die in episode 1.5, and everybody was like, shit is real. And like,
I was like, seriously, we're gonna do this the first episode? I don't know. It kind of turned me off. Like, it was just shock value. Like, I already know you're in the apocalypse. You don't need to.
Well, they didn't milk it. It was like, she's gone. All right, keep going, guys. Like, that callous or that.
And it was also like Mad Max 2 because they didn't even care. They just kept going.
Yeah. That's the point. I think that's the world now. They're not. Well, they're. Yeah, the way they act, they seem to be like, oh, hey, there's settlements over there. Let's not bother them. Like, they're not like us, kind of talk. And
yeah, because that's also what reminded me of School Life. Because in School Life, a lot of the girls just Well, one of them thinks that her dead sister is still around, so maybe it's just psychosis they have, and they're just blocking everything out. I don't know.
Yeah, again, something seems wrong with them. Like they, I keep thinking it back to like those pictures you see from Overwatch going around of the gender swap Junkrat and Roadhog just fucking around the wastelands, just enjoying what they find. They're like, "We found a dog this episode! Holy shit!" And like,
And then
it's both them being nuts and survivalist scavengers, but it's also them like trying to find the good in the dead world.
since we've been comparing it a lot to Mad Max, is there like a main villain?
No, definitely not a villain. Like, if anything, they are the villains. Like I think episodes will start with them like, wreck going through a like burning car and then like popping out slightly on fire, being like, "Hey, I found this thing," and like, yeah, I don't know if they're implying that they blew that car up on somebody or if they're just like, "Hey, fresh wreckage, we got it." And like,
Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't much animal life. It looked like I saw reptiles and stuff, but
yeah, they just barbecue like a gecko the size of a small cow once, and it's just like X'd out eyeballs, and they got like a big Fred Flintstone spit thing going on it.
do you think it's Earth that they're on, or do you think it's like another planet like Mars?
I think Earth, and nothing seemed too sci-fi about the place. They were still harvesting cars and gas and all that.
And how many episodes is this?
Oh, probably 12. I wanted to say 10, but 12 is usually the standard. And they were all like just 15, 20-minute episodes. 17 or whatever it is without commercials.
It's kind of short for an 80s show. It must not have had a lot of budget.
Maybe, or it just might have been that it didn't have that much of a plot. Looking around, it didn't seem to have a manga it was based on at all. But it felt like a 4-Koma would have been that.
So you're thinking this was ahead of its time? Do you think it would have been better if it was released, let's say, in the early 2000s when Azumanga Daioh and all that was popular?
I guess so, yeah. Like, anime was still relatively young back in, 90s or whatever that was?
Well, 90s was like the peak. 80s it was starting to...
Probably late 80s, something like that. Again, hard to find information. It's not Wikipedia on it or anything like that. It's that fucking small time.
Has this series been licensed anywhere in the world?
Someone was saying like they thought not Fork, is that Funimation had their hands on it, but we're just like sitting on it until whenever. Maybe if the Mad Max keeps going, they're like, this whole Mad Max thing seems like a fluke. We better wait till it succeeds 5 times, you guys. I don't know. That's just what.
Well, if they had a license, they should have released it when Fury Road was out. They lost the hype there.
Yeah, but I think once it was, by the time I was gone there, they realized they had it. I don't know if it's not a crown jewel, but it's solid. I would like some more.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, like I said, too impressed by the first episode, but maybe I didn't watch a little bit more.
Yeah, the dying thing was strangely. It was, I don't know, it was a little bit too just like there.
It's too convenient.
Convenient how?
Convenient for a plot device.
Well, you had a problem with how she went, or?
No, just like, we're in the apocalypse. Clearly, people have gone around them. Oh, we're just gonna go ahead and kill up one of the main characters for shock value.
I mean, it's not like they killed her, just.
And then, of course, before they killed her, they had to do one of those stupid flashback scenes of like her life, and then.
Well, it was really fast though. I like that. They were like, because it's a fucking short cartoon. They had like crammed in of like. I was pausing here and there, and they're like, I'm like, there's the same fucking scenes they're repeating now and again. I think they knew that Meat-chan was not going to be a, name's fucking Meat-chan, I guess. Like, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just wasn't really my cup of tea, but which is weird because I like Mad Max and I like what?
No, nothing. You're right, but I just had the thoughts put together of I was wondering if you could illustrate it with that Toho character maker that was around for a while.
What do you mean?
Everything was like, I don't know if it was just you or the forums I was on, but there was like a Toho character maker thing going on where it was like just like paper doll kind of crap. It made it much better than that, but they had those faces now and again. It was like,
Well, it was the 80s, so. And plus, the show didn't really seem like it had a budget, had no marketing. The only real thing I can think of is riding on the tail hill, like Akira and all that at the time, but was trying to appeal to the Moe people, and it just wanted too much and failed because nobody's heard about this series since. Never been licensed, and I don't see any merch on the internet except maybe sans a poster or two. Just overall, kind of flop. I really hope that the people involved got on to better things.
Probably. It seemed definitely like they knew what they wanted, but the fact that they're all cute little girls, like covered in like ammo belts and grease and burn and scars, stuff like that, was challenging to do that with. It was
from back in that time, yeah. I mean,
especially back then. Like,
there's plenty of girls in military shows now that I think if there was a remaster or reboot of this, it would fit right in and sell pretty well. I think it was just not at the right time because back then Moe was not very popular.
If they bring it back, would you say keep Meat-chan or like leave her in to die, leave her in to stay as part of the cast? Or just like don't bother, like leave her out.
I would say just a revamp of the whole cast in general. Like don't even bring back the other ones. Bring back an all new cast. Maybe they like run across one or two of them in the show to nod back. But I think they should start at a clean slate.
I mean, you know how I feel about big people, but what's it? Magnum, the brute one was their roadhog, as it were. She was a keeper, I say. I liked her as a character.
Why? What did she do?
Oh, she was like the eager muscle kind of character. Like, she wasn't like the first to suggest violence, but she would get super into it when it was violence. Where they were like, "Oh man, we got to get around this cliff. What are we gonna do? Oh, we got to move this boulder. Hey, Magnum, can you break that boulder?" She's like, "I can break that boulder, great!" And she like berserked on that boulder, Chris Redfield style from Resident Evil 5, where he's like, "Oh, push that fucking boulder," and she right on the boulder.
It'd be cool if she trained like the new girls. I think if they did a reboot,
you want her to be like a master, or either a master teaching them, or possibly a solo protagonist character who gets the party, as it were.
Yeah, I could see, because like I said, I don't know.
I could see that being like a redeeming thing. Like, we don't know how they met. It's just kind of a
throwback.
Not throwback. I'm sure there's like a term from like writing or TV tropes I don't know about, where it's like in a box. Or just like, we don't get a beginning or an end, but they're doing things, and we're kind of picking stuff out from what they do.
Well, I think this could go well like now.
Yeah. Like,
there's a new Strike Witches series coming out, and there's a Girls and Panzer movie, and it's definitely a better market for something like that right now.
Yeah, cute girls doing violent things is now a niche anime.
Yeah.
Where was that gun show you watch where girls had airsoft guns but were like butchering people by the hundreds, and they're like, "No, it's cool, it's airsoft guns, guys."
Yeah, that one was funny. But can you tell us a little bit about the ending? It doesn't seem like online knows a lot about it. Maybe people just stopped watching like the rest of the world. I don't know.
Like I said, there wasn't really an ending like that. There wasn't much of a big story as it was anyway.
Yeah, I mean, was there any character development or anything, or just kind of these random tropes went through the desert at the end?
I mean, they went through the desert, but like that was also kind of most of their episodes. Like, what was it called? It also kind of reminded me, episode plot wise, of there was a CG show a college friend turned me on to. I watched for a little while. It was called Mr. Stain, I think.
I don't know.
He was a CG hobo. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. But he was a homeless man who lived in this like giant alley, and it was like Unclear if there was an outside world in the alley because he looked like a lizard and a cat and like a stray dog and stuff. But every single episode started with him digging through a pile of garbage, and then he'd go, "Huh?" and he would pull out a new thing he found, or it'd be an egg or a tape recorder or something, and then the whole episode would be him messing around with that. And
so they just randomly found stuff and focused on it.
It was a lot of that. There was definitely a problem or a person or something they found. Yeah, here, there's Mr. Stain.
Yeah, he's showing really creepy pictures.
Yeah, you can Google it very easily. It should be the first thing you find. But yeah, he's a weird old hippie guy. He didn't talk. He just like.
And there's some weird CG cat as well.
Oh yeah, that was like the asshole best friend character. Yeah, Mr. Stain on Junk Alley. There it is. But yeah, the cat would be the one. Like he's like, I found a fish, and the cat's like, I'm gonna eat it. He's like, no, I'm gonna keep the fish. It's like, no, I'm gonna eat it. Fuck you. And then we get weird Mr. Clean pictures and a rainbow tooth.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Sorry to derail, but
yeah, the ending was it was kind of in that vein. They're like, hey, I found this door, and they're messing with this like little underground bunker door. And they're trying these wacky ways to open it, and Magnum's trying to just pummel it open, and Rex setting off bombs and crowbarring at it and crap, and what was the fire one's name? The gas mask. I forget now.
If you mentioned that.
They didn't say in the first episode. I thought they would have.
I know they remember meeting maybe Trailblazer or something.
I think it was Brazer. Like it was that weird Japanese. They gave the subtitles BRA, but like they probably meant Blazer. It might have been short for that, but I know they called her Brazer a few times.
Yeah, that often.
Brazer, fire!
I don't know. I guess overall, I really am not a fan of it, even though it's my genre.
Oh, if you skip episode 1, I'm not sure if that would make it better, but they could make it better. I thought it was cute. You stick with it, and it pays off. But yeah, the end was
spoilers.
Oh, not really. Like they get the bunker open, and they like go inside, and they're like a whole bunch of controls, and there's like and they find there's like a big new fresh Jeep behind the car, and Rek is like, "Oh my god, it's so fresh, it's so clean, I can keep it forever, it won't break like everything else." And they start whacking all the buttons to try to get it open, and like doors and windows are opening and closing and crap until finally get the garage door open. And they're like, "Yay!" And they like wee, and they drive away in their fancy new Jeep, and like they barely notice that like another nuke or another missile like launches, then crashes back down behind them and makes the mushroom cloud, and they're like, "We don't give a shit." And like, not those words, but they're just still cheering.
One girl liked to use English curse words. I don't remember her name. But...
Napoleona. I want to say it's Napoleona. Napoleona. Yeah, that sounds it. But yeah, she would curse in other languages frequently. Yeah, she even threw in like a America once, and which is mother, which I think is sometimes used for mother of God. It's generally a cuss in Frenchie. Yeah, I think it's worth a look. I think it's especially worth picking back up and reboot or revamp or put a layer on it. It did a good job of not being too dark for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, you gotta get a sense of us like, oh, once in a while, but no, I think it definitely holds up, especially with Mad Max coming back and all that. So
yeah, let me try it again if I have time, but it's not on the priority. Like, don't run out to the torrents and download this and expect something great.
I mean, why not? Like, give it a shot. I say give it 2 episodes, and you'll get a good idea whether you want to or not.
Yeah, but
I think 2 is where they find like a big stash of canned meat, and they're like, and they're like, we should conserve this, but we're gonna have a big pig out party, and They almost always end up breaking, losing, or spoiling what they find.
But yeah, so I take a pass on it for now, but Greg clearly.
Yeah, well, clearly by this many episodes, you have a perfect idea what our opinions are, what our thoughts are, so you know where to go from here.
Yep. Alright, I can't tell you anywhere to get this, so.
I'm Fuzzy Torrens. I'm pretty sure had it.
YouTube.
Blank. Yeah, apparently it's on YouTube. If you found it there, at least some of them, unless I took them back down. I think it was Blank Bank. That was an old one I watched before I converted to the new laptop, so I lost that link. I think that was what it's called. But yeah, Fuzzy Torrens says most of the stuff we go to.
Yeah, not condoning illegal downloading.
I mean, you can't get it anywhere. Is the problem? I'm not sure that's really illegal anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know if there are Japanese DVDs of this, to be honest.
That they probably make them in Korean.
Or actually, it would be VHS because it was the '80s. So I doubt it got a DVD remaster.
Maybe the quality I saw was alright. So I don't know if someone had like really good quality tapes or what, but I didn't get any of those standard VHS squiggle lines or anything. Maybe a really good official tape. Really, they have DVDs back then? No,
they had VHS and 8 tracks and all that.
I don't know.
But
yeah.
Anything else you wanted to say about this series, Greg?
I think Magnum was a favorite character still, but she was very like on and off switch kind of character. But she would just like be there in the background, just being like the dotted line kind of face, and then just be like, "Yeah, I can do it." And like,
also, I wonder if this was like a late night TV anime. I'm assuming it was because of the violence.
I think it makes it to a point though. The first episode was kind of like, we're gonna raid these people, but like, and we're gonna kill Meat-chan. Nothing happened, but it lightened up on the direct violence a lot, where they were just like blowing crap up. So maybe that was like a pilot or a feedback thing they got. But
yeah, I wonder if a lot of people got mad after that first episode and they had to like do a Suicide Squad and cut out content and things
topical,
like that.
Topical, and dating us very much. Yeah,
not really.
Well, you think people will complain about Suicide Squad being edited for decades to come?
They're still talking about it.
I mean, it's been like a month. Well, now it's dated.
Anyway, all right. So I take a pass. Greg approves, and that's that. So,
but yeah, but we are going to keep daydreaming. That's the key. We
go ahead and follow us on the website. We're going to be working on getting Twitters and all that jazz up and running.
At least one.
So we can respond to comments and.
I'll probably put this on YouTube somewhere too.
Yeah, so look out for things to come. And that's it for this week. So this is Angelo.
Greg.
Have a good week.
Daydream. Dreaming the days of anime. Hey. Have a daydream. Have a daydream.